When Shaykh Khatri came from Mauritania to America, he said that he noticed nobody smiled. Because one of the things about Mauritania, right, Sidi Ibrahim knows this, you go out in the desert, they're all smiling, right? People smile all the time. Because smiling is actually part of fitrah. The Prophet ﷺ smiled all the time. One of his names is Al-Bahak, the one who always smiles. He smiled all the time. One of the Sahaba said, from the day I became Muslim, I never once saw the Messenger of Allah except he smiled. From the day he became Muslim, he said, I never once saw the Messenger of Allah except he smiled. It's actually fitrah to smile when you see somebody. You know, it's a human being. You smile, he smiles, you feel good, he feels good. Right? And then you get these people, Assalamu alaikum, brother. Seriously, you go into the masjid, that's what this is. Assalamu alaikum. You know, just try a little harder on that one. Just a little harder. Like, Assalamu alaikum. You know, you don't even have to. Seriously, some people, it's like getting a tooth out of them or something to get a salam with a smile. But he said the reason he thinks none of them smile is because he said he noticed they do everything alone. So he said they have shayateen with them, they get depressed. Because shaitan rides alone. Rakibun wahidun, there's a hadith. Somebody who rides alone is a shaitan. And two of them, two shaitans. Three is company. You look at, in the West, everybody in their cars alone. And who are they listening to? Shaitan on the radio. It's amazing. They're listening to shaitan. And they're driving alone. And then they go to work and they sit behind a cubicle alone. They don't talk to anybody. In California, they say, send me an email. They don't even want to talk to them physically. They tell them, send me an email. Some of them have a sign. They just hold up a sign. They won't even say anything. Shaykh Khatri, when he was in New York, he said the strangest thing he saw, they were in all these cars, a traffic jam. And he said he looked over and he saw a car go in this place, and it turned around. And then he said it stopped, it rolled down his window, and it spoke to a box. And he said, and then the box, he said, كَلَّمَهُ بِلِسَانٍ فَصِيحٍ. It spoke to him in a clear tongue. And then he said the car drove up a little further, and he said some hands came out of a window with a white box. And he said he gave him money and they didn't say anything to each other. He said he spoke to the box and he didn't speak to the person. It was a fast food restaurant. But he was just looking at it, just seeing it for the first time. You see, you grew up seeing this thinking it's normal. It's not normal. It's neuroses. It's a sickness. This is actually pathology. And somebody in fitrah can see it for what it is, but people that are out of fitrah, they can't see it. That's what he said. They go to work and then they go home, they eat alone. Somebody, if you eat, one person eat alone, shaitan eats with you. And shaitan just gets stronger and stronger. That's the thing about shaitan. People don't realize this. Shaitan gets strong with heedlessness. He gets weak with dhikr. The more ghafla, he gets strong physically because he's eating. If you don't do dhikr when you eat, like say Bismillah, he eats with you. And he gets fat. He has energy because he's got caloric strength. But if you say Bismillah, he can't eat. He starts getting weak and withers away. If you say Bismillah when you go into your house, he can't sleep with you. And that's the two shaitans, a hadith, sound hadith. They met, one was weak, the other was strong. He said, what's the matter with you? He said, I have a horrible assignment. Every time he eats, he says Bismillah. When he sleeps, he says Bismillah. When he goes to his wife, he says Bismillah. I'm not getting any strength. He said, oh, I've got a good one. He never says Bismillah. And I eat as all I want. He goes home. I have a nice bed to sleep in. So now look at the whole world. I mean, Christians, they used to say, bless us, Lord, for these gifts which we're about to receive. They used to say that. And inshallah, it benefited them. They don't say that now. It's just gobble it down. And so the shayateen are getting bigger and bigger. And now they can just say they're shayateen. They actually can say it now. They come out, really, they come out literally and say it. Like rock bands, they say that we're Satan. I mean, they literally announce it. I saw this guy, he had a thing. I worship Satan. Literally on his t-shirt. Spiked hair and everything. It said on his t-shirt, I worship Satan. And this is happening in Christian lands. They used to be anyway.